guests and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Are you ready? It is your time to take a few moments from your busy day to unwind, be inspired, and listen to the psychic insights of your host, empowerment psychic, Halley, Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Off air, be sure to connect with Halley at halleyelise.com. And now, the Halley Elise Show.
Welcome, everyone. So glad you could join me this evening. Believe it or not, we are back at the gallery. And if you're going, wait a minute, what's going on? You're usually at the station. It seems that there's always something going on at the gallery, which is the heart of Delray. If you're in the general vicinity and you want to come out tonight, please do. There's a wonderful networking event taking place as well. You could pop into Studio A and visit while I'm on the set. You know, it's funny, there was a program on just a moment ago, and I have to ask my producer about it. They were talking about angels and speaking about psychic matters, and I'm sitting over there, and a girl says something about the four clairs, and I'm going, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. And so then they start talking, and I'm going, boy, we could all get together and have a psychic party. It's kind of funny how many people are out there and open now to sharing their gifts and sharing their abilities. And I think that's wonderful, because for so many years it was, shh, don't tell anybody, it's evil, or they're going to think you're strange. And actually a couple of the girls on the earlier show were saying that they thought there was something wrong with them until they looked up and found that no, actually they're okay. And yes, there is such a thing as someone being hypersensitive. And yes, there is such a thing about speaking to the divine and speaking to angels and speaking to people who passed over and being able to be prophetic. All of these things exist. And I do agree also, they had mentioned earlier about that everyone is born with ability. And I've been saying this for over 30 years. The truth is, we all have gifts. We don't all pay attention to them. We don't always like the idea that we know something. However, there is that occasion where a mom gets kind of like a feeling on her chest and she goes, oh, what am I going to do? There's something wrong with my child. I have to get out there. And they run outside and they see their child as a car's coming down the street, and they run in the street and they grab the kid out of the way. Now you could say that's mother's intuition. That is the same thing as saying psychic. It is that psychic knowing. There are times where people meet somebody and it's for the first time, and as they shake their hand, they're thinking, there's something about this person. I just know I'm going to have a great relationship with them. And sure enough, they end up being business partners for many years. What I'm trying to get across really and truly is that you have gifts, you have intuition, you have ability. Allow yourself to listen to those things. Today was fun, for instance. There's a lovely lady by the name of Cassie Eubanks. She has a group called Transcended Souls, and it gets together once a month. There's a bunch of lovely people that join together to share spirituality, to share business ideas, to share community, and she had asked me to come in to facilitate meditation. I had no idea what the theme was going to be today or what it was exactly that she was looking for. But I thought, okay, before I stood up, there was a sense of what I should speak about. And I decided, or maybe I should say I was prompted this way, to speak about love and self-value. And the idea that if you want love, you have to feel that you deserve it. The funny thing, and we'll say the psychic thing, is I was complete with the meditation. Everybody had a great time, and that was wonderful. But what was really fun is Cassie got up and said, this is kind of fun because Halley obviously really is psychic. She got up there and she spoke today about the exact topic that we are covering today at our meeting. And then she went on to talk about being in gratitude and understanding that if you want a loving relationship, you have to be loving to yourself. Over the years, you've heard me mention about when you are in an airplane and they talk about in an emergency, the oxygen mask is going to drop down and that you need to put it over you before anybody else. What does that tell you? That tells you you have to take care of you first. We have all sorts of expressions that remind us to love ourselves first, to take care of ourselves first. However, we get caught up in life. We forget. We have children, we have animals, we have work responsibilities, whatever it is that we are taking care of, and we often forget about looking to ourselves. And today was lovely because we did this life love exercise with essential oils so that you breathed in the emotion that you desired and you breathed out the emotion that you wanted to deliver. Part of that was the idea of bringing love to you and allowing it to settle within, allowing it to be conscious so that you have the ability to share at a higher level, that you have the ability to love at a greater level. You can't really expect to have a beautiful, long-lasting, loving relationship unless you actually like you. For those of you who stand in the mirror and you go, I don't like this and I don't like that, and I don't want to see, what you're doing in essence is you are diminishing your energy. You are diminishing that part of you that is extended out into the universe. That energy, that's kinetic. That is that psychic energy that has the ability to reach out and find a like vibration, a like frequency. If you are in a space of desiring more romance, more love, then you need to start liking you, which means look in that mirror and say how magnificent you are. And even if that means you just like your toes, and that's it, focus on those toes. Focus on the thing that you know that you can truly and genuinely appreciate. And then each day, work on acknowledging more things that you genuinely like about yourself till you get to a place of love. And then really go into a place of gratitude. When we are in a place of gratitude, we have the ability to get everything. We have the ability to manifest greater. We have the ability to make things happen so quickly. Most of all, we have the ability to really have our desires met. Here it is, a brand new year, 2019. I believe it was last week or the week before, actually 2 weeks in a row, if I'm not mistaken, due to some personal circumstance. I think we replayed the first show. Yes, Freddie, we did that last week? Yes. Okay, I'm getting the thumbs up. And that show talked about what it was you could do with your frequency, with your energy to help you manifest at a greater speed and enjoy more. But specifically having to do with the love. How often do we say, I love you to ourselves? I know, sounds corny, sounds funny, like who does that? But really and truly, try. And the reason I say try is because you fake it till you make it. Stand there and tell yourself how much you appreciate you, how much you are in gratitude. And even if you do it like in your head, you wake up in the morning and you think, wow, I was really good last night. I did A, B, C, and D. I'm really grateful that I could do that. I'm really loving the fact that I'm taking control of my world, or I'm loving that I am empowered, or I am grateful because I am loving my life more. Any of those sentences, any of that significant awareness of your being raises your vibration and helps you extend outward. I was having a chat today with Dr. Maya in my office. We share a suite with a couple of other practitioners, and we were talking about our ability to expand. Most people don't understand what that means. I'm not talking about expand by putting weight on. Of course, we can do that too after the holidays, during the holidays, or some of us, it's just age, hormones, what have you. But expand when we know that we are a part of the divine that exists. We are part of the greatness that is everything. When we recognize that, just the simple act of recognizing it allows us to expand our energy. If you want more from life, really and truly, get in touch with that kinetic part of yourself that is ever present. You'll notice that when things are stressful, when things are tenuous, if you sit and get quiet, if you meditate, even if you just simply breathe deeply, you'll start to transform those feelings, and you have the ability, again, to expand. And when I say expand, it has more to do with that field of energy that exists than it does your physical being. And yet, others feel that physical presence. I always get a kick out of my apprenticeship students. There's an exercise that I have them do about midway through the process when they're learning lessons. I have them do a particular lesson, and then I ask them to go out looking their worst. They can go somewhere where they won't be recognized, but go out looking their worst. Maybe sloppy jeans, hair all tousled, loose t-shirt, but something that really does not make them look like, wow, I want to connect with you type of thing, and see what happens. Every single time, each one of them come back with, oh my gosh, that was the weirdest thing in the world. I went out, I didn't have makeup on, I didn't do my hair, it was up in a ponytail, I wore a sloppy sweatshirt, I wore flip-flops, I wore a pair of cutoffs that were ripped up. I looked like I just rolled out of bed and I haven't showered. And 3 guys hit on me, or 3 girls hit on me, depending on the case. My point being, when you connect with that kinetic energy, you have the ability to expand. And when I say expand, don't think in terms of just connecting with a person. When you expand outward, when you allow that field to grow, you have more awareness of what's around you. You have more clear cognizance. You have more clear audience, clear sentience, clairvoyance as far as seeing future. You have more knowledge of what the divine wants to communicate. You'll be sitting at a street light, for instance, and all of a sudden something pops up for you and you're thinking, oh, that's kind of weird. Where'd that come from? Pay attention to that, because that weird little thing that pops up is a direct message to you from your higher knowing, from that intuitive ability. And it comes easier and quicker when we are expansive. Another way of doing it really is go out in nature. It sounds almost too simple, but go take a walk on the beach, be near the ocean. And as you stand there near the ocean, as you walk down the beach, just take a look at what's before you. Acknowledge the beauty, acknowledge the magnificence of the sky and of the sand and of the ocean and of what exists. In that moment, again, you raise your vibration. You will find that if you do this continuously, you are more on target about your intuition than you ever have been. And it's simple. I mean, what could be more enjoyable than going to the beach? And it doesn't have to be during the day. It could be at night. I'll be honest, I am not a sun worshiper, and for me, I prefer to go at night. But I will walk along the sand. If I go in the morning, it's super early in the morning where I can see the sunrise and just be a part of the environment. What's very cool, because it was a few months ago, I decided to go down to the beach and do some morning prayers and do some Qigong, which is an energy exercise. And I took some photos after I was finished. And I didn't think really anything of it other than I took some photos of the environment of the beach. I wanted to see if the photo captured what my eye captured. And I was just looking at the beauty. What actually showed up in the photos were orbs. And you could say, well, maybe it was a speck on the glass, or maybe it was just an error, but it was in every photo. And what was funny is it was, let's say, to the left in one photo, lower down in another, moved over in another. And if you're going, well, wait, what's orbs? What are we talking about? They are, I guess the best way to express what they are is an energy source, a communication. And it has to do, again, with that expansiveness. Sit with that for a moment. Think about the idea that you can expand. Another simple way to expand is to desire it. To close your eyes, take a moment, breathe deeply, and actually envision your energy, your field expanding. And if you're thinking, well, I don't really do the visual thing, I don't get it, use your imagination. Imagine that you have a silhouette that moves beyond you and outward. Just doing that raises your vibration and frequency. We're going to take a quick break. It's about that time. And we'll be right back with the Halley Elise Show. Thank you. This is is your empowerment psychic, Halley Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are
Call her
concerned for our
Paula
loved
when you
ones.
get back.
I have
Paula.
helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
You have been listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, a top 100 psychic. She is your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. Your guide to peace and wisdom. For a private appointment off air, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show with Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Welcome back. I believe we have a caller who's been waiting on the line. Hi, caller. How are you? Try to get your name here.
I was wondering if you could answer a question for me.
Absolutely.
I've been thinking about moving,
Okay.
and I don't know if I should, sell my house and move. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck.
All right.
I was wondering if you saw anything or knew anything or...
I do not
Help me out.
I do not see you staying permanently in this space. I know that you love the space and there's multiple reasons to love the space. By the same token, it doesn't feel that it serves you in the same way that it used to. And this is not even about the change in circumstance as far as relationship. This is about you personally and the care that has to go into the house. You don't want a teeny tiny space, but the space itself is a lot for you personally right now. I mean, the feeling here is you're pretty much going from one room to another. So there's maybe 2-3 rooms that you're really making use of versus making use of the entire residence. And this is kind of the time to start to take a look as to what you really want. You don't plan on continuing work indefinitely, and it would be easier to know that you have a place that is more manageable, but more important, your home, how can I explain this? It's fantastic with the beautiful light and with the furnishings and with the plants and all of the beautiful things that are attached to it. And also there are some very lovely memories. But again, I just don't get it serving you at the same level as it used to. And what I'd like to suggest is really truly go back to your original idea of being close to the water. I get the feel that you will find something, and I feel like it'll show up before the summertime. And then you're going to have to get serious and decide, do you want to do this? Is this really what you want to do, as in not making the move, but are you ready to let go of the past? And I know that's not easy, but there are lots of different rituals that you can do that can help you release, not the good, but release holding on to things that are not serving you anymore. You can even light a candle that helps you bring with you the house spirit. So all of those energies, all that love that was put into the home during the time that you've lived there, you can actually take that with you into your new space and imbue your new space with that loving energy of your entire family and start anew. So short version, really, before summertime, it feels as if you will find something that makes your heart smile. But again, I feel like you need to start thinking in terms of going back to the water, because I feel like at some point you looked at that and you went, oh no, too expensive or too much or not right. I feel like you need to revisit that idea and you'll find the right place.
That's wonderful.
All right,
Do
my
you have a
friend.
minute? Could I ask another question?
Sure, go ahead.
Do you see any companionship?
I would love
I
to.
don't want to say romance.
No, I get it.
No.
I know. Well, you're looking basically a buddy that you can hang out with, have dinner, go to the movies, what have you. I don't get you looking for a torrid affair, at least not right at the second.
Well, wait a minute. Okay.
Now, let's be honest. You would. How can I put this? You would be delighted to have that attention, but I don't believe in your heart of hearts you're 100% ready for that yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Okay.
No, you're right. You're
Okay.
right. I'm kind of too old for that anyway.
No,
but-
it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with age. It really has to do with where your heart is. And you just need a little bit more time. But I'd love to say, yes, tomorrow you're meeting, yay, the perfect individual. I actually feel like it's after you move. I feel like the impetus in so many things in your world is after you move. There's going to be a transition where you
Yeah.
let go of working. There's going to be more free time to actually enjoy versus constantly running and then just going, I'm exhausted. It's going to be literally a
Yeah.
different lifestyle for you. And being near the water, which I keep coming back to for you, is really going to reinvigorate you and help you to be more open to having that person come in who will be a great companion. All right, my friend.
Okay. That sounds good.
And I can give you a rough timeline here, just so that you know it's approximately 2 to 2.5 years for all of this to come to fruition. You don't have to wait 2 to 2.5 years for that initial move or to leave work, but I feel like it's approximately 2 to 2.5 years for everything to come to fruition. All right?
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
It's a lot.
Sure.
But you know what? Call me, I'll help you pack.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great
Awesome.
night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You know, it's funny. We so often think in terms of how's it going to work after somebody has passed or we break from a relationship. And it's interesting that we were talking about romance overall earlier and come back to love you, be nice to you. If you can do that, there really isn't anything that you can't have. And sometimes we overthink it. It has to be perfect. I have to look a certain way. I have to live in a certain place. I have to make a certain amount of money. The truth is none of that matters, because when you make a connection with someone and there is that warmth, that awareness that you fit, the rest of it goes by the wayside. Haven't you ever seen a couple where some guy is like this big and the girl's about that big, and you wonder, how is it that they're together? You think, well, that doesn't make any sense. And yet, they work. They fit. I actually had a couple earlier today that came into the office, really sweet couple. And you could tell when they walked in, they both just radiate this warmth and this love and this attraction. And before I even read for them, I knew these guys are going to move in together. They're going to get married. They're going to have an amazing life together because there is that incredible connection. I'm not known specifically as a love psychic. I'm known more as an empowerment psychic. But even within relationships, you can be empowered. If you are in a relationship right now, I want to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to take a look at how is it that you're interacting. Are you feeling appreciated? Are you feeling loved? And if not, are you giving the thing that you desire? And if you're thinking, wait, what? No, I've already done all this. I've given 300%, and that's not the way it works. Actually, it is. Again, think expanding your energy. Allow yourself to give what it is that you want to receive. You will find that things that were maybe not in the right place all of a sudden transform. There is so much that you can do simply by being kinder to you. You shift your energy that allows that kinetic energy that is existing within all of us to expand. A lot of people think in terms of auras, and that is a part of it, but it's not all of it. We come into this world with a certain field of energy connected to us, and you'll find that if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling great, it changes. And we usually measure things in a physical sense, but if you have an opportunity go get an aura photograph done and have it done just the way you are. And then take maybe 10 minutes away and get quiet and peaceful and think about how magnificent you are. And even if you go, oh, please, I can't do that, think in terms of, what have I accomplished in my life? What's really good in my life? And then go back and take another photo. I guarantee you will see a different photo. You will see that it's brighter. You will see the colors have shifted. You will see that it's more expansive. You have the ability to connect intuitively. You have the ability to connect on a level of love. Gratitude is huge. When we remember to be grateful for where we are, for what we have, for what can come next, things come very quickly. We talked earlier today about the whole idea of like attracts like. And we see it. We see people. You see some kids and they're dressed like hoodlums, right? And you wonder, what the heck is that, right? What are all those kids doing together? Well, they have something in common. Like attracts like. In the same way that people who are well coiffed or financially set. Now, of course, classes mix and appearances mix and people mix, but it has more to do with what is the energy that they're exuding. And that brings me back to the couple where the guy is real tall and the girl is real little. How does that happen? It's because they are vibrating on the same level of love. So challenge yourself. If you're in a relationship, challenge yourself to be more loving if that's what you want to receive. If you're not in a relationship, be more loving to you. Keep in mind, we'll be on again next week. And if you didn't have a chance to call in tonight, the phone number is 888-565-1470. And if you haven't had a chance to visit the Heart of Delray, it's a great art gallery. Things are always changing. It's a lovely place to be. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening, and we will see you next week on the Halley Elise Show. Good night.
Remember to tune in every Tuesday on WNN at 9 p.m. for more peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Halley Elise, Top 100 Psychic.